Welcome to the first full week of October on the Fun Astrology Podcast. I was just thinking, this is my birth month. Wow. Okay, we'll have to deal with that later on. But right now, we have some stuff in the sky that I think is a good time to take a look at. One particular key feature of the chart right now. And somebody sent in a question over the weekend about it. So perfect kind of timing there. And that was like the universe saying, yes, there you go, do it. So we'll talk about that. Let's get a couple of things set up before we go there. First of all, the moon is right plunk in the middle of Virgo, having gone in there yesterday. So we have a Virgoan, get her done, heads down, organize your projects, be effective, work, health-based moon. Everything else is where it has been for the last umpteen. If you've been listening to this at all, you know the placements and the key placements. Still keeping this big eye on Neptune in Pisces. This really is going to be playing out in some kind of key ways with the United States chart. That video that I've got about that depicts some of those areas. But keeping an eye on that, it's at 21 degrees. Of course, Saturn and Jupiter still in Aquarius. And the big deal that will be happening on Wednesday is Pluto turns direct. And Pluto is the first of three that happen this month. Pluto, then Saturn, then Jupiter. All of those are right there on the homepage of the funastrology.com website. So that's where a lot of astrologers are expecting shake, rattle, and roll in the month of October when these things turn direct and we get all of that forward-moving energy from three very key planets. But what I'd like to focus on is where the action is with the sun and its next door sign, which this is only going to be in place for another couple of days. But I think it's something to note of what's been taking place that a lot of us are feeling, and I think it's right here. So the sun, Mars, and Mercury are all in Libra. The sun is at 11 degrees as we're talking today. Mars is at 12. Mercury, of course, in retrograde is at 22. It will be headed back to about 10. So these are all just knotted up. So again, get in our heads, Sun, Mars, Mercury, Libra. Now next door in Scorpio is Venus. Now Venus is almost at 27 degrees. It will cross the county line into Sagittarius on Thursday. Actually, Thursday morning. So really we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, it's on out of Scorpio. Here's where this is significant. Because, now let's go back to the first piece, the Sun, Mars, and Mercury in Libra. Mars is in its sign of detriment, Libra, because Mars rules the opposite sign, which is Aries. We've just put a big section about this in the 101 course, which, by the way, I'm going to have an announcement on the 101 course on Wednesday, okay? Won't be a timely thing, just an informative announcement about we're going to get this thing back open. So if you'd like to learn astrology the fun way, check in on Wednesday. We'll have some news for you. So Mars is in detriment in Libra, but then again next door, Venus is in detriment in Scorpio, because Venus rules the opposite house of Taurus. Let's put this into some fun astrology language. Mars is grumpy in Libra, Venus is grumpy in Scorpio, and because they are in their mutual signs of what is called reception, because in ancient astrology, Mars rules Scorpio. So see, Mars is next door in Venus, it rules the next door sign. Venus is in Scorpio, it rules the next door sign of Libra. So you can crisscross them. We did this in the horary class this weekend with Robert Glasscock. We were talking about a lot of aspects right here with this. And what you can do in horary astrology is you can move the planet in your mind. You just do this mentally. You can move the planet back into its own home sign, but you do it only at the degree of where it is now. So, for example, Mars is at 12 degrees Libra. Well, you can mentally envision the Mars being at 12 degrees Scorpio. Venus is at 27 degrees, let's say, Scorpio. You can mentally put it at 27 degrees Libra. Now, that's only while they're in each other's signs. Once Venus moves out on Thursday, that deal is off. Then we have Venus in the home sign of Jupiter, so the two benefics get connected on Thursday. That's going to be great. That's going to be a good thing. And then Jupiter goes full direct from retrograde by the end of the month. So that whole thing is going to be a nice dynamic. And then all we have is just a grumpy Mars plodding its way through Libra. So we had somebody ask this very question. I'm not going to play it just for the sake of time, but basically she has the same thing. She has in her natal chart Mars in Libra, Venus in Scorpio, and she was asking what's going on. Well, I think a lot of us have been asking what's going on, and I think that this mutual reception of Mars and Venus has been responsible for a lot of the angst. If you've been feeling the tension, if you've been feeling something's off, if you've been feeling out of balance, we're talking about Libra. And Libra has been upset because the sun is actually in fall in Libra. So in other words, the sun is not at its peak when we're talking about that kind of analysis. Mars in detriment, Mercury now in retrograde. You see how Libra is just quivering right now. And then anything you put in Scorpio is just bound to attach tension to it. And especially with Mars ruling Scorpio, and you put Venus in there, grumpy, Mars grumpy, you see how we've had this just knot of tension. So the good news is on that, we are about to get out of it. In fact, we could even say Wednesday, Venus will be at 29 degrees, and we could probably move it on to at least very, very benign. So that energy should start improving, but we're going to be just a couple of days, well, actually the same day, Pluto will turn direct. So we're going to almost have an energy shift. And don't think that we won't experience Pluto turning direct, and then Saturn, and then Jupiter. So it's going to be an interesting time. And we'll be covering it right here on the Fun Astrology Podcast. You guys have a great Monday. See you tomorrow. Bye.